You saw nothing there. Salutations, class, and welcome back. We'll be doing a control stream tonight, which really feels a lot more like Minecraft with all the rocks that we're digging up and breaking apart. We should be able to get to the second half of our Foundation DLC tonight, and hopefully be able to finish it. James, welcome. Now then, click back into the game and immediately be met with a bullet firing. This doesn't look like where we were before. Hold on. No, we're in transit access over here. And we have a couple of different locations we didn't need to land in. But, while you have the ability points to spare, there's something really expensive we were looking at. Which one was it? I think it might have been the energy, and we already picked that one up. Well then, with 8 points... I think we will want to try to see if we can seize those hiss orbs that do the healing for some reason. That will also heal us as well, even though that doesn't really make much sense at all. With our spare 3 points, we'll definitely upgrade launch since that is one of our favorite tools to use. We are probably in the closest area for us to get to this question mark here. I can't tell if that's supposed to be above or below. Have you heard of the Stupendium? They made a... No, I have not. They made a cool song about this game. Well, definitely looking forward to karaokeing that eventually. I mean, ever since we had the Ashtray Maze, I have been listening to... what is it? Heroes of Asgard? Something like that? I can't remember their names, but you already know. I've been listening to a song about taking control over and over again. Let me in, darn it. Well, I guess we get to test out our new ability first and foremost. Okay, get away from me. And I can't damage them. What a silly start we have. Not even 5 minutes and we've already died. Stupendium. I will, one moment real quick, get rid of that. I'll leave that up on my web browser and take a look. Oh, wait. I think I've seen this guy before. Yeah, I've definitely seen this guy before. I don't know if I'm subscribed to him, but I've watched a couple of his videos. Well then, that'll take another look once we're doing a karaoke stream, sometime eventually. I keep forgetting the melee, but yes. Hissing again, I see. Now let's test out our little experiment, shall we? Where did you go? Where did you go? And I'll be taking that, thank you. So for some reason, now we have incredibly rapid healing. Well, that is a wonderful exploit. I always enjoyed playing the tank in any of the games that had these sort of systems. One of my favorite things was just tanking bullets everywhere and healing off the damage. Now, for example, in Team Fortress 2, my most played character is the engineer, but I probably perform... Oh, Gods of Asgard, that's what they named. Yeah. I've been just listening to that song over and over again. Very motivating. I'm doing it a lot when I'm working on YouTube thumbnails. When did you guys become so powerful? I mean, this is the post-game DLC, essentially. It's to be expected. And shoot. you. Oh, missed. These guys are scarier than I remember. Maybe I haven't gotten quite back into the groove yet, have I? Well, that's explosive. And Pierce, because this guy has armor. Throw this back. Oh wait, we can make him a friend too. He is a large enemy and that's our new ability. 3PO, Joy, welcome. We should be getting to the second half of the Foundation DLC tonight. You know, it would have probably been much easier if I went around the other way from the big center part with the pillar. But Professor is known for being stubborn, after all. Finally. Now, let's move on. There's that freaky fungus guy in the elevator there, but he's not a problem anymore. Very lovely headpats indeed. That character looks familiar. Is that from another streamer? Or if that's a generic Twitch emote, I'm afraid I'm not quite familiar with it yet. And so we return. Now there's allegedly something very special going on in this area. Though I don't know if it's below or above. That's the wrong way, so it looks like the line is disconnected there. It doesn't look like we'd be cut off from this direction. So it seems we might have wasted our time. See if we can find our way back around, or if this is yet more obtuse map exploration that we tend to get so often in this game. Oh, that's interesting. We can get the stalactites off the ceiling. And fly. And drop, and fly, and drop, and land. And miss it. And climb. And allegedly, just behind this building here should be another passageway, shouldn't there? Ah, there's the cave we're looking for. To which... I see, this is just the other half that we would have gotten if we had break from the beginning, as opposed to...
A or B, or neither. Let's just stay the course for now. The Bureau's in danger. We know we need to repair the nail. The
I imagine we can't jump across those, so I'll just float uncomfortably close to these spikes on the ceiling. No harm done, in the end. Working on the schedule right now, but as I said on the Terraria stream, it's mostly going to be a repeat of last week. Once we get to Thursday, it will be a Blaze Blue tournament, and then probably not going to be much happening over the weekend. Maybe, just maybe...
I'm in the astral plane. Oh, this bleed is just getting worse and worse.
Hello there. But maybe I'll do a fighting game stream on Wednesday or somewhere along the weekend. My Mixbox should be coming in on Tuesday, allegedly, is when it is expected to arrive.
Looks like the astral bleed goes both ways.
What do we have here? Dear Science, there's a person in my pet salamander? He has human eyes. Why doesn't anyone else see him? I think it's like werewolves, but with every animal. Were-dogs, were-cats, were-otters, were-butterflies, were-everything. There are people inside and they can't get out. They're stuck in the animal body. It's not all animals, but it can be any animal. My parents don't believe me. Maybe this has happened before? I thought you would know. Sincerely, John Lomaine. Seems like a real nutcase there. It's labeled dead okay. It's labeled dead letters. Ah, there we go. Getting that definition in my brain mixed up with the actual dead letters zone in the facility. Mysterious invincible golden cube, I assume. Oh. And obviously that's right where it fits. How could I have ever assumed otherwise? I'm pretty sure we have a little bit more of a way to go before we get there. Ah, there we go. And there should be another one, right? Now, call it a hunch. All the dead letters came from there. Indeed. Makes perfect sense. What the heck is going on over here? Just a loose hanging there we go. I was wondering where that other cube was supposed to be. And give me this. Playing with Lego blocks now, are we? Inside of the astral plane. And they are all 100% bogus. That's the implication I got. Pretty much every single one of them has been kind of nutty, hasn't it? I can't remember immediately off the top of my head, but a lot of them were just garbage. Yeah. This was the one I remember. The guy talking about being contacted by the ghosts of presidents. Just rambles and nonsense. Maybe this should change your mind. There we go. That's a good piece of rock. Hover our way up here, and I'm worried I'm not going to... Okay, good. We did make it. I'm seeing some red glowing, which usually means hiss. Or it could just be the dust fly. Well, never mind.
That didn't go so well last time.
I was willing to correct myself, but it seems my initial hunch was correct. Sick 'em, boy. Although I think they're already done with. Yeah, seems everyone's gone. Achievement unlocked. Make unmake. I get rewarded for playing Minecraft. Shooting the middle of that rock to make it shorter for you to get through is really cool. We've done that a little bit so far in the DLC. That was when we were in concussed source gain. That's weird. What is that supposed to mean? Oh. Yeah, I'm not gonna be focusing on taking damage, thank you very much. It's a mechanic we've experimented with a couple of times in this DLC so far. It was right when we are first getting this ability. Ah, we have more rocks to deal with. Hover up here. Miss it. Ah, we have to be over here first. I wonder, can we grow these crystals off the wall? Those must have been the ones that we used to disassemble. I know you don't belong here. Seems we do have a lot bleeding through. Both ways. You can use dodge midair. I have done that a couple of times. Every single time I stream this game, I gotta get back into the groove. Because every single game I play is so different. Hold on. Can we really throw this over there? Huh, cute. Hidden location discovered. Not exactly hidden, is it? It's a little out of the way, but it's particularly conspicuous once you see it. Fit you in here. Maneki Neko procedures. Hold on. There it is. Maneki Neko statue. None known for containment procedure. Description. A ceramic beckoning cat figurine, a common look object found in Japanese storefronts, hence the namesake Neko. The following is a list of the items observed altered effects: non-corporeality, affinity for specific human behavior, and minor physical movement, waving its arm. Multiple simultaneous incarnations of this item have been observed. Whether these are independent altered items acting uniformly, or replicated instances of AI-48 is unknown. Background. How the items originally arrived in the oldest house is unknown. It was first discovered sitting in the director's chair, and was immediately contained in a panopticon cell. The next day, an agent noticed 2 additional figurines had appeared. Hours later, all 3 vanished. The items had been The item has been sighted throughout the Bureau, appearing while agents perform tasks. It is theorized that fulfilling certain unknown criteria will encourage the item to appear. Present location unknown. Given that we have the document here, it's probably going to show up soon, right? Now, where am I fitting the other Lego block? Oh, wait, I thought I saw a crosshair. Must be further up. Unless we just have multiples of these in case we make a mistake. And hop up here, gently set this down, and resume. Do I have a rock-related pun for a witty one-liner? Rock and roll. Okay, that tasted bad coming out of my mouth. Can we even... Yes, we can float that high. We'll have to... Well, I don't think we can climb up while we're holding something. Let's try that again. We'll first see if there's actually anything we have to interact with up here. A control point. Inside the astral plane. Rocked and loaded. And well, I guess those stones aren't stacked anymore. Sorry to ruin all your hard work. Open up. So that's interesting. We have a control point bleeding into the astral plane. This one has been marked different, and instead of the satellites, we have all the stacked stones sitting around it.
Reminder, the Bureau does not have windows. If you notice a window, immediately close your eyes and make your way to the nearest safe room.
Well, I guess we finally have our answer, James.
From an article of clothing. Any resulting lapse in dress code will be excused. Thank you for your attention.
Well, I'm glad that question's finally been officially answered by the game. Ah, 1 cube. Are we supposed to bring the other one up here? Fall damage I continue to forget about. I'm guessing we'll need both cubes in here. Ah, no. It was a choice to be made. Mm-hmm. Our ominous black pyramid continues to stare at us. I wonder if it really is sinister, or if the former is lying to us. I'm glad we did get a chance to take a look at the former and see just who it is. Otherwise, I probably would have been even more confused. Personal mod, shield boost. We don't use that nearly enough as much as we should, do we? Again, it looks like we're... Okay, never mind. We have 2 cubes. And we are not required to make an... Okay, fine. Let me, fix your little mistake here, and fit another one in. Interesting that they immediately turn into the black stone once they're fitted in. Now what did that do? I heard the ominous rumbling, but I didn't see anything change. I guess it was because it was obscured behind this pillar. And let's fix that. And fix the... Oh, wait. It's okay. Problem took care of itself. Come on. Come on. Not that hard. Come get me. And goodbye. Okay, it's a little extravagant, but I'll take it. The windows are a ploy by Big Glass to sell more glass. Exactly. Around here, we only use skylights. The natural lighting of the sun, or in the case of the oldest house, light from the astral plane. Now, assuming this is light as we understand it, that would require there to be a source of photons, wouldn't there? And since, well, say, in space, we'll have various stars letting off light by the burning, fusion, and fission of atoms. But here in the astral plane, we don't exactly have stars, do we? Skylights do save a lot of money, indeed. So if the astral plane here just has this ominous white light basically everywhere in the background, with what seems to be no visible source, and given that it's coming from every direction, would it be that there's, similar to how particles will randomly manifest in our own universe, possibly inside of the astral plane, we have photons spontaneously appearing and flying in every direction, with enough capacity that... Did you get stuck? With enough capacity that they basically occupy all of the air around us. Assuming this is air we're breathing. Ah, another ominous staircase. And without any safety rails. Is it possible for me to file an OSHA complaint to the astral plane? The former's area is much darker than the board's. That too. There seemed to be a little bit of light from the background then. Set this down. Crack a few eggs, and toss this in there. And that should be it, right? There we go. Wonder what's different between the astral plane with the board and with the former. Here we see the board just always ominously hovering above us. And funny enough, the former appeared to come from below. So we have what might be interpretable as a typical good versus evil contrast. But knowing how subversive the narratives in this game are, we aren't necessarily led to believe that the board is the good guy, are we? But then again, unlike the former, the board has still never actually attacked us. Or come out of a fridge and eat one of our employees. I assume several, but many of them were before Jesse here was involved. I'm telling you, break. There we go. That's a good rock. And can we climb up here? Yes, we can. There's gotta be a name for these. I've seen these before. These sort of, stacked stones. Seen a lot in, Japanese media. I forget what they're called. The board uses light mode. Well, you deserve a bit of punishment for that. That'll hurt your eyes more and waste more power. I guess we'll need to use a different weapon to shatter these. Quickly now. I use dark mode on basically all of my apps that I know have it. There's probably a number of other places that I'm using light mode but don't yet know how to activate dark mode. Or they're apps I don't usually deal with. Cairns! Yeah, that might actually be the right word. Interesting bit of insight, Kayla. Thank you. You know, I'm gonna look that up real quick. Only other place I've heard that word used is in the Elder Scrolls. Cairn, a heap of stones piled up as a memorial or as a landmark. Well, Kayla's right, thank you. You have taught the professor something today. I think I might have been trying to remember them by their Japanese name. Well, this guy certainly has a lot of armor to bring. I'd love to do an Elder Scrolls playthrough at some point, but I don't know which one to play. Okay, hello. Intrusive. I'm trying to enjoy my shooting gallery here, thank you very much. These angry guys with pickaxes just run up. I wonder who left these markings here. Because obviously stones don't spontaneously spawn in that arrangement. They don't draw patterns in the sand either. Wait for Elder Scrolls 6, that will never be released. I guarantee you, on that release day, I will be playing that game on stream, assuming, well, you would be incorrect with it never being released, but I anticipate it's not happening until, say, 2026 or so. You know, celebrate the 20th anniversary of Oblivion. 2 games prior. And heck, that would mean... That would mean about 15 years since the last Elder Scrolls game. Heck, Skyrim itself is currently 10 years old. Oh, Bethesda, how you've fallen from grace. So, what are we doing over here? Do we actually have a mark where these are? Ah, it doesn't look like it. 20th Oblivion Anniversary would be Oblivion Remastered Anniversary HD for Samsung Smart Fridge. You know, a lot of the devices we're working with now probably could run the graphics for that game. Maybe not the code, given that you'd need a lot of RAM. But I'm astonished how much graphical capacity they manage to fit in such small devices these days. But then again, people have gotten a lot smarter about using various programming tricks to optimize the visuals that we have on these devices. Make things look a lot cleaner and fancier than they actually already are. I do have a question for the class here, for our participants. If any of you are interested in Elder Scrolls, is there one that you'd like to see? In fact, I formerly was running an Oblivion stream on this channel, but no one's looking for Oblivion right now. Todd Howard makes miracles happen when it comes to re-releasing old games. They absolutely milked that joke for one of their E3 presentations, didn't they? I think even Bethesda themselves hopped in on the, oh, now we're releasing games for the smart fridge joke. So I believe this was the new area that popped up, right? Obviously, there's people that we haven't killed yet. Interesting. We have both the Astral Planes manifestations and the Hiss showing up, and they're fighting each other. You're hired. Help me take care of these other goons. Elder Scrolls and Half-Life 3 will release in the same hour, or never at all. Is that our next bizarre friendly fandom between two games? Like how Animal Crossing and Doom, of all things, with their similar release dates in last year, I believe it was, sort of ended up developing a very interesting fandom that they both... I mean, they dropped a lot of memes on social media about it, about the crossovers featuring Doomguy and Isabelle. Now that, I'd love to see. Bethesda and Valve getting along. Both being formerly beloved companies that, in a sense, both of which have fallen from grace in the past few years. I'll help you take care of him. After all, the big guy is the biggest problem. Ah, I was just about to befriend him. Why do you always ruin my friendships? Although it's more of a temporary contract. Bethesda was working on Starfield, indeed, which... as much as... energy renewal. Interesting. As much as I love the idea of space Elder Scrolls, basically, at least that's what I assume Starfield would be like, Bethesda has a niche they've gotten themselves into, which I don't think it would be very wise for them to leave. After all, best play what you're known for. Sea speed. Interesting. I think having the little bit of extra source is better for us right now. We can also afford to disassemble a lot of our older mods here. Seems the DLC is providing us some very different build opportunities. Although we have rapidly run out of inventory space for all of them. Minecraft 2 and Terraria 2, on the other hand, will not happen until Disney owns the entirety of Earth. With the formula those games have, I'm not sure they ever need a sequel. We're getting just incredible amounts of content added to them after their release dates. Where are we putting these? Well, there's our answer. And it should be the same on the other side. Have we ever even seen any footage of Starfield, or an idea of what it's supposed to be like? Or is it literally the exact same thing they did with the Elder Scrolls 6, where they developed a name and didn't follow through with anything about it whatsoever? Get up here. Minecraft 2, boxes with smooth edges. Terraria 2 is 3D Terraria. That actually does sound very hype. One of the reasons I wasn't too interested in Terraria for the longest time was because it was 2D. And I feel sandbox games really need the extra layer. Or, you know, maybe sandbox games work better as top-down. I don't imagine sandbox platformers, at least maybe with the way that Terraria does it. Although then again, I have the absolute best time playing Noida, and, well, that's just Terraria with smaller pixels. Uh-oh. That is, what, 5 or 6 sneezes on this channel? And I keep them hidden, one, because it's a little unprofessional, and two, I sneeze very, very loudly with my regular voice. Noida is very good, and what, it's been a month since we had an official stream on it. I mean, we did do that for the celebratory 6-month anniversary stream, correct? But that was a new game. Noida 2 has every voxel simulated. And we'll need an MIT University computer to actually run it. Heck, you kind of need a supercomputer to run Noida as is. The game continues to be incredible. And I hate the Hiss guys more, they're a lot more obnoxious to deal with. Same as what we did in the CE campaign. If we have multiple enemy factions fighting each other, just play for whichever one is currently losing. Funny how the Astral Planes characters will manifest strange gun-like weapons out of rock. Are they getting hissed after we defeat them? Yeah, I hear you. Finally. But, I'm still thinking about it. I'm not sure what I'll be doing for streaming next week. It is the one between New Year's and Christmas, which... I think you know what time it is. Happy holidays, class. I think this one is the worst. It's so horrifying, but I can't look away. Okay, never mind, I'm done. There's absolutely no constructive or destructive information there. Nothing but garbage. You have been spared, class. I will not force you to deal with that any longer. Wonder why we're going in this roundabout puzzle. There's not really any interesting mechanics we're playing with here, are we? It's mostly just a rehashing of what we've had to deal with so far. But here we have our monolith and probably the end of this puzzle. Or ritual, as they like to call it. Well, hello. No, I don't want to play Minecraft with you. Go away. Okay, fine. Dodging bullets, I see. Constructive towards fear anxiety. Definitely. Perhaps one of these days, maybe I should upload something ominous and terrifying. After all, one of the most engaging things to do with a streaming channel is ARGs. I mean, ARGs are just incredibly engaging in general. I could use your help until you expire, which will probably be very soon. Now, I don't watch Hololive anymore, but it was what? Roughly around this time last year that Chama started going under her sort of chaotic arc. And she did form a very engaging ARG out of it, of sorts, even though in the end it was, ultimately, a sort of disorganized mess. You lose approximately a year of your life every time you witness a frame of those videos. Would that mean you're an immortal then? Because we've definitely seen, I'd say, in the frames of hundreds so far. Yeah, constructive towards viewer anxiety, and destructive to all of your psyches. I guess that was it. Are we just touching the rock?
There's the etching.
Talk to me. Tell me your tales of trees. We decided that you may have both tools. Only because you are the favorite current director. But do not listen to former. You are welcome. Also, I am a little unsure. I mean, we still see the board here, right? But look at the sky around us. It's not quite as bright white as it was before, so is there something different going on here? I thought those would have been constructive for something else. And break. And break. And fill. And that should be it. That appears to be it. Unless there's something going on at the top. Perhaps that's what we have to climb up to see. Okay. Fix that for you. Ah, yes. Just over here. Perhaps the white is tainted by the astral bleed.
Tune all of a sudden.
That's what I'm feeling like as well. I'm also having a feeling that maybe the former and the board are getting a bit closer than they should be.
Overthinking this whole board former thing. They can sort out their own business so long as it doesn't get in my way. Obsessing over these problems is something Trench would do, but I've got my intuition. And you.
When shield integrity is low, suspended objects will begin to vibrate, indicating that shield is about to collapse. Well, that's a good little tidbit of information. So, it feels like the astral plane and, well, we already know the astral plane and the real world are bleeding together. I should have done these missions a long time ago. We're getting ability points out the wazoo. That was it. We wanted that ability because it lets us recover energy while holding things to throw. Only one more little trip to make.
So dire. Why isn't Arish here with us?
It'll be very close to the beginning, so let's head back. Research site Gamma. There it is. Cave system. Right here at the beginning. Allegedly, there's something off to the other side. Perhaps on top of... Ah! Up there, I think. Wonder how we... get up there. Not that this is where we have to be. But, as a scientist, I am always curious. Chasm. A particularly unspecified chasm. Off the map, huh? Oh dear. Looks awfully claustrophobic in there. VHS cassette tape. An altered item 12-PE. Background. This item's creation is the source of much research and debate. It was a product of the Bureau's attempts to film during Operation Shallow Tide. An agent was able to conceal themselves in an area frequented by Ati, at which point they began filming. The agent reported that the video camera showed no signs of disturbance during the filming. Later, when reviewing the footage, the research staff became mesmerized by its altered effect. Measures were taken and altered evaluation began. Never before had the Bureau personnel been so closely involved in the creation of an altered item. The experiment was quickly replicated, though not with the same results. The footage was simply useless in every subsequent attempt. This event spawned a great debate as to whether altered items are created by paranatural entities, intentionally or otherwise. Similar experiments were prohibited soon after. See the Ash Act for details, as the creation of altered materials was deemed an action the Bureau could not engage in, should not engage in. And yet another door we are not permitted to open. I mean, I'm gonna get killed for this, but... Never mind, nothing's happening. Suppose this is a side quest for us later, or possibly the ending of this DLC once we figure out every other problem. We need to head on to Research Site Gamma there at the beginning. This looks to be our quickest route to get there. And we can't go through that door anyway. A wise decision, honestly. Making more items seems like a bad idea. Especially since they manifest with such unstable and unpredictable effects. And so far, I don't think any of them have been particularly benign or benevolent in their implications. We don't exactly have the best use of a clock duplicating itself. If it was rare or precious metals, that would be a lot more useful. I don't think anyone would have complained about, say, several gold ingots appearing out of nowhere. Granted, in the past, gold's value was only in its rarity and its demand for it accordingly. But nowadays, gold actually has a very intrinsic value in the fact that it is very useful for circuits. Gold is one of, and I think it actually is the least reactive metal, so it takes the longest to corrode when used in circuits. Whereas its cousin silver is very reactive, hence silver tarnishing so quickly and so easily. One could argue that so much gold appearing out of nowhere would make it no longer scarce, and therefore less valuable. But gold actually has an interesting intersection in the fact that it has material uses, as opposed to things that are purely interesting just because of their rarity. NFT garbage. Not gonna play at high volume, are you?
The floors crawl, the walls slither. It's a shifting pit. On the street, it's just another drab building standing there for anyone to see. But no one does. How did we miss it? Northmore. Acting director Northmore now is on a train from Washington. He'll expect answers, which is why I'm making these tapes. They're evidence that I'm at least trying to understand. Father searched his entire life for something like this, and we find it 1 week after he's buried. He always hated irony. Of course.
Wait, we did already play this one. That's right.
Would have been the first
Right?
man in.
Right. So it's here that we're supposed to go.
Hiss got in. Boom. The nail. Pile of smoking rubble.
Marshall blew up the nail? What the hell was she thinking?
Well, hello again, Mr. Fractal. The fridge used to just be indestructible, but the former changed its effect. So I'm guessing... I wonder... get away from me. When's the Xander NFT minted? Never, because as a computer scientist, I have an extra special reason to hate them. I understand the cryptography and the math and the power consumption that goes behind making one of those things. So I know that we've had this recent sort of NFT hate train happening on, well, basically everywhere that isn't actually in a crypto bro hub. I mean, a lot of us will understand sort of the basics that it is literally artificial scarcity, but made even worse by the fact that it is from a proof of work in the sense of cryptography. I have a particular hatred of cryptocurrency because focusing too hard on trying to speak, and I could even see that the guy was lining up his sniper shot directly at me. So, let me set things straight for anyone who doesn't know the whole case with NFTs. Yeah, I know everyone has been hearing about the whole cryptocurrency craze that has plagued the internet for about, what is it? Feels like it's been 3, 4 years that it was super popular? Maybe about 5. It was mostly just a little inkling of an idea in the years prior. People did discuss bitcoins and stuff like that, but they didn't really know anything that would happen. And they didn't know too much about it. It was mostly just a few speculative buzzwords. Error! Welcome! Always glad to see you. We're not going that way. We're going around the other direction. And I keep trying to press Alt to sprint. I need to synchronize my controls between these various different games. But the way cryptocurrency works, and essentially a lot of other similar cybersecurity things... Sheikah, welcome. Greetings, Xander, he says. I actually do that a lot whenever I'm talking. I'm sort of spacing out these letters one by one. It's one of my favorite ways to format text. In fact, there's actually a lot of linguistic talk to be had about how you can get messages to change, not by changing the words, but changing how they're written or typed. It's hilarious. That's exactly why I do it too. But, cryptocurrency basically works off of a proof-of-work cybersecurity algorithm of sorts. A little difficult to explain outside of computer science terms, but basically, the whole idea behind these things is they require some very, very complex math, in the same vein as cybersecurity, which is basically difficult to crack. You know how... Here's something all of you will be familiar with, passwords. How nowadays we have to use various special characters in passwords, not just letters and numbers anywhere, and the longer they are, the better they are. And the less sense they make, the better they are. Well, essentially... Oh, wow. That thing destroys Hiss. I think we can keep him around. Essentially, the idea is that cryptocurrency and NFTs are made secure by the fact that they rely on a lot of self-reassuring math using very large numbers that are hard to sort of cheat or replicate. In fact, that's what NFT stands for, is non-fungible token. Essentially, an NFT is basically a super long collection of data that is made secure by its essentially its proof in its own math by peers and other bits of information on the blockchain. A lot of basically passwords interlinking with each other to make sure that they're secure. So the issue is, in order to calculate the math to generate these tokens, it actually involves computers working with very, very, very large numbers that require an exceptional amount of power consumption. And that's the whole issue, is literally to create an artificially scarce token. Its security is proved literally by a computer basically doing the equivalent of leaving your bathroom faucet running. Foundation Deep Cavern, but... Oh, we're going... It's further up in that direction, okay. So the darker areas were further down, and the lighter areas of the cave here are where we are. Okay, we were going in the right direction. Alternating capitals is a chore to do, but it sure does look weird. Yeah. Mostly I see that used to mock people. Essentially making their own speech, say if you were to reflect it back, sound chaotic, and like there's not much thought put into it. You feel like at some point people will find ways to just get it or rip it out of the blockchain. The reason why this whole stuff works is essentially these tokens are fungible, but in order to actually crack the ciphers, that's the word I'm looking for, needing a cipher or cracking their encryption, it is possible, but it is done in a way in which essentially, with how much power it takes to generate one of these tokens, I mean, one of the figures I've heard is that just one of them requires the amount of power that a household usually consumes in 2 months. That's absurd. Deep cavern. Okay, so this is where you have to be. And that is essentially to randomly generate one password. These tokens are fungible, but in order to actually crack the encryption on these passwords, it requires essentially a runtime of several billion years. Any other information here? Is that it? I think... Yes, that's it for that message. So no, there's never going to be a Xander NFT because I hate NFTs. I wonder why the rock is chirping. Freely and accessible media doesn't make sense to buy yet. Exactly. And essentially, a lot of these NFTs are just links to download a file. But yeah, the whole crypto thing is, and don't believe them. They'll tell you otherwise, but the whole cryptography thing is really just a circle jerk between rich computer nerds. Of which I am only 2 of those 3 things. A little hard to be here this day. It's night for you. I know you did say recently that you were upset that you haven't been able to attend so often, Error. I will say, definitely, just attend the streams whenever you can. And I will honestly say, if there's a better time of day I can make the accommodations for you, let me know. I am here for the class, basically. If there is a better time for me to stream, I'd like to do it. Now, I'm not able to do it necessarily at every time during the week, but weekends I have basically open for most of the time. Who else am I looking for? I know there's that guy following me, but... Guess we did take care of him. Where'd he go? Maybe I should use this a lot more often. And... toss. Yeah, I'll run through there and not care about it. I suppose that's the end of it. Complete the ritual in the deep cavern, it says, but it looks like mostly I'm just shooting people. Ba 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 ba. You just dislike it for the way people portray it, and many people spending their life savings on it because of the people advertising it. Exactly. It is literally just artificial scarcity. Made even worse by the fact that it is exceptional power consumption for literally artificial scarcity. A crypto coin, essentially,
All right.
or an
This
NFT,
is the
basically are
last one.
similar, that they are only really given proof by the fact that they are the
I
result
can't
of very
believe
difficult
Marshall's
math.
brilliant plan was to blow up the nail. And she thought I wasn't ready.
Really? Is that it over here? Just a bit of combat, and you have the end of it. So, to explain the whole screenshotting it theft, basically. One, it's not theft. They call it theft because it's disingenuous. It is more comparable to media piracy. You are not stealing something, but you are making a copy of it whenever you screenshot it. Now, to a rich person, they believe that, or well, to a rich person who puts so much mental stock in, well, having something that is scarce, essentially you know that rich people will make these,
That's the last one. I fixed it, didn't I?
We're not done here, are we? If you don't come, you will miss so many things. You still remember you were late for my 6-month anniversary. And that is another reason, among many, why I recently decided to try to dial it back on the streaming. Please don't let yourself get afflicted with fear of missing out on my stream content. For that same reason is why I'll be putting together a compilation of the highlights. I also do need to make myself a lot more responsible and post schedules earlier. Time to run, you say?
Thank God.
Okay, we have a way out.
What the hell was all that? Things should be better now, not worse. Emily will know.
It just means you're late, Jesse. That's all it means. Saving to build your PC is now useless. Yeah. Graphics cards. Oh, right. This was the place we were at before. So, graphics cards actually do have a lot of processing power on top. Well, I mean processing power because that's basically what renting graphics is processing power. And that's another reason for me to especially hate these crypto bros stealing all of these graphics cards and the sheer amount of them that they need in order to generate these sort of crypto functions and all that stuff. One more message from the Marshal, available from Marshal, not from the Marshal, available from the hotline. Out of options, huh? Might be a different one.
The Foundation is overrun. I was out of time and out of options. I took all the C4 I could get my hands on and strapped it to the nail. Boom. A desperate move. But it's better off in pieces than in enemy hands. Trench wouldn't be thrilled. He always said how vital the nail was. How it was the Bureau's duty to protect it. Bullshit. Those years spent in the director's chair warped his priorities.
I'll say.
In the end, he valued order over people. The advice of invisible voices over that of old friends. He lost sight of who he was. The board made sure of that. But I did my duty. The Hiss can't corrupt a pile of smoking rubble. My last act as head of operations. I'm done. At least I could take those bastards down with me.
I don't think we read enough of these either, did we? I know we looked at a couple of them. We definitely
I
hadn't
only
paid too
heard of
much
the
attention to
Foundation
all of
when I
them.
became head of operations. The very bottom of the oldest house. Director access only.
Yeah, I think we actually listened to that one already. There's a lot of them unread in here. A lot of stuff we could have listened to. You know, I will make the promise that eventually we will make another playthrough of Control, and I will try to pay attention to all of the collectibles that time. One of these days in which I have a larger audience. Didn't know you were going to stream tonight. Your PC is rendering your new animation, so you're half asleep. Wake up for a nightmare and wanted to check the time and see I'm live.
Director Faden?
Something I really need to do is, one, settle and post my schedules earlier. I haven't done it on the last couple of Sundays, and that's basically when it's supposed to happen, at the end of the previous week. I've been a little strapped for time as of late, and a little uncertain what to stream. I might be focusing a little bit too hard on trying to bring more variety and get more stuff out there. When really, I should probably just stream a bunch of my favorites, honestly. Staple games and find the fan base for that.
I thought you could tell me. I completed the 4 rituals just like the board told me to. The astral bleed should have stopped.
Look, it has stopped. The nail is repaired. But we have a new problem. My analysis of the nail indicates that it is literally a piece of the astral plane. Or possibly a vessel containing the astral plane. Or both. Either way, right now both dimensions are vibrating at completely incompatible frequencies. The spatial friction they are generating is incalculable. It's going to destroy both planes.
I messed this all up. Maybe Marshall was right to destroy the nail.
Did we get another mission notification in the
Should've left it in
background?
pieces.
No, then the astral plane would still be leaking in. Sometimes there's no right answer, Jesse. We need more information.
No. I need to fix this now. I'll figure something out.
Just shoot more
We
things.
should really
It is a video
make
game
plan.
after all.
The tremors are originating from directly below us, but we don't know what.
Perfect. I'll head down and take care of whatever's going on. Just do what you can from here.
Jesse, you can't just.
I have to, Emily. I'm the director. This is on me.
Atta girl. So, I'm guessing, are we heading down there? Reach the bottom of the nail. Oh,
Hope I know what I'm doing.
there's our answer. No, Error, I have not yet seen your queen animation. I'll make sure to look at it after the stream is done.
That was just the top of the nail? How much deeper does the foundation go?
Deep, 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 I'm sure. Honestly, I forgot it was Monday until about 2 hours ago. Same here.
Crystals are growing like crazy here. Who's trying to stop me?
Work's actually been very... oh boy. Very, very slow as of late, as it usually does get sort of around the holidays. I'm not in a service industry, so... I actually have things relax around the time that holidays come up, where a lot of, say, retail jobs would be a lot busier.
HRA was damaged. The board said it.
When Marshall blew up the nail, the board attacked her. I don't fucking like it.
The board attacked her. Bleeding in, huh? And dodge to refill our ammo, which is an incredibly nifty little ability. Fall down here for a little bit of safety. Get out of my way. Yeah, I've been a little lost for the subject matter that I should be streaming lately, but I think maybe with the new year, I'll definitely pick back up fighting
the
game
director.
streams a
I
lot
need
more
immediate assistance.
when I start picking or playing with my Mixbox. Get ourselves a nice little soldier. How'd he get past all the chasms? I am doing wonderful myself, Error. It's been slow at work, so I always appreciate a time to relax. Uh-huh. Oh.
Marshall? You're alive.
Soon you will no longer recognize us, or yourself, or him, or her, or them. Family is dead. The walls are broken, but yellow and red in the eye.
I knew it.
Damn it.
Inverted is made right. Evil is
Fuckers, take everything. I am not letting you take this.
You've always been the new you. You want this to be true.
Hey, girl. Sorry it's come to this. Yeah, I should probably find more cover. She did bleed a little bit of health in the attack there. Probably should have picked up some upgrades before we hopped in here.
More hiss.
Alright, so where are the little enemies we can work off of? Ah, there we go. A little bit of well, I'd say intermittent health, but Marshall's gonna shoot us right in the back. Do tell me if there's a better time for me to stream, Error. It'll better happen on the weekends, but I do like making accommodations for the viewers I love so much. With such a small but incredibly consistent viewer base, I mean, makes me so damn happy to see all of you. Now, I think we can make a couple of different gadgets for us here. Not there. And that is the maximum level we can generate. Of which none of these are things we can possibly generate, given that we don't have the materials for them. A shame. Is there anything we can do with all these then? Guess we just don't have the materials. That was something we definitely could have upgraded a long time ago. Alright, now that's done. Let's deconstruct all the obsolete level 3 ones. Alright, Marshall, let's try this again. Well, in that case, Era, I will continue streaming at the relatively consistent times I output now. And hopefully there hasn't been too much to miss out on lately. Do take care of yourself, though. That is my primary concern. I'm not doing this with any interest for streaming as a career choice, so I'm not one of the kind of people looking to regular viewership and donations and money and all that stuff. So we gotta think this one through a little bit. Ah, wait. She is standing on some of the dangerous spikes. Or she was standing near them a moment ago. Yeah, this one's gonna look pretty difficult. Damn it. Did that get her? I couldn't quite tell if that one actually hit her. And it's so hard to see her amidst all the other red around here. We can launch up to 3 objects, right? Okay, there at least is a little bit of health for us. And run through there, get barely anything back. The deeper blue? Yeah, that'll do better for us. Oh right, I could have turned him. Fire from the hip, irresponsibly. Just waiting for the right moment to fire. Come on, Marshall, I don't want to do this either. A la Dark Souls, the most fearsome enemies are the ones that are roughly the same size as you. Where'd you go? Get a few shots in there. Oh, right! We destroyed the little barrier there. Got ourselves a friend, huh? I enjoy friends. Return to sender. I still think, yeah. I'm definitely liking the launch and basically the TK more than anything else in this game. It's just so useful being able to lob their explosives back. There's someone off over. Oh no. That's an ally. No wonder I wasn't getting shot at. Hold still for only a split second and it happens. That's a lot of bombs. Oh, great. Yeah, could you deal with the snipers over there, please? Get rid of all the smaller guys first. Come on, and thank you. Come over here. I got a present for you. Eyes open, Marshall. We have a fight to do. I think we got the hang of this one. Sorry, Marshall. I don't want to do this.
is corrupted. That explains why the board wasn't answering what's causing the quakes. Marshall came down here to stop this. I should have been with her. I could have saved her. But I can still save everyone else.
Bitter survivor's guilt, then. At least that's what it feels like. This would be a very difficult position to be in. Right. Wrong button. So, what's going on here, Nail? Yeah, that was incredibly stressful. At least we only had to do that boss fight the once.
Well, fuck you too.
Oh, I'll be sure to.
Let's play it smart. They don't need to know I'm onto them. Not yet, anyway.
Uh-huh. Those board guys are acting a little, suspicious. I will refer to that black pyramid as plural, given that, well, it refers to itself as a board. Also, I think it refers to itself with, plural pronouns, right? Uses we whenever it speaks referring to itself. Oh, hello, big guy. How you doing? I haven't done much of anything with the Spamton animation yet. I mostly have that reserved for when I have a lot more stuff
The
to
nail is
compile
secure.
together.
The hiss can't touch it. I can't undo the astral bleeding in the Foundation, but at least it's stopped.
Along with the seismic activity. You did it, Jesse. Did you ever find Marshall?
I did. She's gone. She died thinking she'd save the Bureau. Not a bad way to go. I wasn't ready for this crisis. I didn't even see it coming. But I promise I'll be ready for the next one. I mean, what good is a director who can't hold her bureau together?
Well, there's the Foundation. We have more DLC, right? Pretty sure we do. I didn't actually review exactly what all the DLCs were that we were going to be running with.
I thought I know how to handle
There is
things,
another,
now that I'm the
as I
director.
anticipated.
Clearly, it's not that simple. I need to choose a direction for the Bureau. It should be one that serves our goals, not the board's. Whatever those are.
I hope you
need
sleep
to
well,
lead
Era. I hope
my
things are
way.
better for you. Thank you always for your attendance, but please don't overextend yourself. I want you to take care of yourself more than anything else. That's more important to me than my streams. We are using C's a lot, so let's basically double its capacity. So, what other little missions we have? Investigate the sector elevator, huh? That certainly sounds interesting, if that isn't at least the other DLC. Fortunately, you need to go. Good night as well, Kayla. As always, thank you for your attendance. A goodbye and good night to you. Yeah, this looks like a DLC. This game's just been so fun. Thank you, James, and to Emerson, who has not been in the streams in a while. But both of you, This has been one of my favorite games on this channel to play. You know, wonder if we have any other outfits. Office assistant, funny. Candidate P7, nah. Then civilian. You know what? While you bring it home, let's bring it back to the beginning, shall we? Investigate the sector elevator.
Give him hell, Director.
Always. Always will.
Engulfed the elevator. There was something there, reaching for her, trying to make her act. It was a distress call. Faden sensed a drowning man, a hunger in the dark. Investigation sector.
Investigation sector, huh? We should check this out.
Wait, that's Alan. That's Alan Mother. That's Alan Wake? Oh. This is going to be good. And actually, from how. I've never played Alan Wake before, but I've heard a lot about it. And from how much fun I've had with this game, I would like to play Remy's other titles. Alan Wake is something I'm looking forward to, and you can expect that sometime in 2022. When, I don't know. I'm actually impressed how long it takes to get through one of these games. Come on, let me through.
Hello? Anyone here?
Guess not.
Ooh, this is gonna be spicy. Hooray! More reading and materials. Darling Investigation. Official Findings Report. Regarding Dr. Casper Darling. Summary. Per authorization from Mr. Kirkland, internal investigation D0845 was launched into the ethical practices of Dr. Casper Darling, head of research. Despite accounts of anonymous regarding inhumane treatment of a currently housed in the Bureau, our official findings regarding this were inconclusive. Numerous obstacles arose during this investigation. The majority of sector personnel seemed to be wholly unaware of any such contained there. One confirmed the code name to be Isn't that a mess to recite? But all files pertaining to that name were inaccessible, being classified under the highest clearance level. Investigators were similarly blocked from entering the research ring to review its staff. The matter was further complicated by the lack of clarity on whether non-human paranatural entities warrant humane treatment. While this investigation cannot address any charges against Dr. Darling, we do recommend an investigation into research.
It's a lot more crowded than the rest of the Bureau.
Mr. Denise. Yeah, that's how I read across the redacted remarks. It's sort of reminiscent of A Hat in Time. I don't know if you played that, but there's a moment where there's all these crows hiding in trench coats, and when they have to read off some text that they don't have the voice acting for, their voice is just as their placeholder. Mr. Denise, I'm going to assume that's Denise instead of Dennis. A request came through recently on an FBI agent asking for all of our files on Bright Falls, specifically on the disappearance of the author, Alan Wake. Per the Interagency Information Exchange Agreement, I had some paper pushers gather up a folder of all the pre-approved files. Don't worry, all the inappropriate material is either missing or redacted. I'm writing to let you know that we received this request from a special agent named Alex Casey. Sounds familiar, right? That's because Alex Casey is the name of the fictional detective in those hard-boiled crime books Alan Wake wrote. Pretty interesting that an FBI agent sharing a name with the most famous character Wake wrote is looking into a case dealing with the writer's fiction coming true. I think this is worth looking into, but what's your opinion? Just give the word and I'll start surveillance on the guy. From Special Investigator Gleason. You know, I might play a Hat in Time as well sometime. It's another cute indie game that's always worth a look at. And I do love a bit of movement in my platformers. Mr. Kirkland. Here are the latest agents confirmed missing, presumed dead from the containment branch yesterday. Agent Jonathan Connor. John Connor. Researcher Ursa Cruz. Caroline Dempsey. Lindsay Malcolm. Charles Murray. Derek Shaw. Letters of condolence will be delivered to you to sign prior to sending them to their families. You will be updated as additional confirmations are made. Also, per your request, a network engineer checked how many of cases were backed up digitally. Unfortunately, a large number of active investigations were not archived yet, and the only hard copies of reports exist behind the firebreak. They're lost, I'm afraid. It's been 1 year since you uploaded your first video, and you're almost at 1,000, I believe. That is an exceptional amount of progress for such a niche community. I'm very proud of the work you've put through, Air. But do get some rest. I do know it is very late for you. Per authorization from Mr. Kirkland, was launched into the Araba of Director Zachariah Trench. A recent change in witnessed Director Trench, including aggressive when with other staff has been observed. However, this investigation is aimed at interpreting this issue rather than proving it. Notable between Director Trench and Dr. Darling has been witnessed by numerous Bureau staff. Although both declined to meet for an interview on the matter, witness accounts suggest their arguments center on the Dimensional Research Wing and the kept inside. However, no evidence exists to confirm Director Trench's as anything more than interpersonal disagreements. This investigation has concluded that Director Trench's behavior is not indicative of any and that his fitness to lead is not in question. Refer to a file for the full report. There's actually a couple of unread ones. Let's give them a look. Astral Mimic. Physically indistinguishable from astral copies, but considerably more dangerous due to the fact that they possess para-utilitarian abilities. Most notable ability witnessed is levitation. They concluded very wrong indeed. Trench was not the right man for the job. They needed Jesse. Jesse capable of kicking ass in Trench's place. It is unknown how this astral entity gained its paranatural abilities. The relevant objects of power are currently bound to Director Faden, which... So this is recent, right. You're at 855 now, a little more and you will reach 1K. This day was slow. Going to sleep, but first you're checking something. To take care of yourself, please. Always. All of us need to. Which indicates objects are not responsible. However, objects of power are intrinsically linked to the board and the astral plane. A similar link between the objects and the mimics could also exist. Or perhaps, the board is able to dispense these abilities at their leisure, with no trial in the astral plane required. The prevailing theory, however, is that the entities are simply replicating observed abilities performed by the Hiss, or even the director herself, thanks to a prolonged exposure to our world caused by the astral bleed. Astral Spike. Astral spikes are metastructural entities found in the astral plane. Their existence was first confirmed when a single spike traveled into our dimension through the mind of an astronaut. Astral spikes seem to exist beyond our dimension's physical laws. They do not resemble any living creature or animate object we have yet encountered. They are even dissimilar to astral copies, despite the fact that both originate from the astral plane. These spikes are immensely dangerous, emitting wavelength that disrupts all organic and inorganic matter in their immediate vicinity, with catastrophic results. Discerning the nature of this wavelength has been difficult for obvious reasons, but the parakinesiology department continues to investigate. And so much more reading to do. Kirkland, I'm growing tired of your blatant attempts to lay your incompetence at my doorstep. I know you want this to be true, but you are head of investigations. This failure is your responsibility. What did you think would happen, holding a dangerous specimen in investigations? The containment sector exists for a reason. They are better trained and better equipped for this type of work. In fact, they have admirably taken on certain AWE monitoring responsibilities that your staff are no longer capable of. This happens more and more now. And don't think your petty internal investigations have gone past my notice. You are a worm. Everything I've done has been for the benefit of the Bureau. The Prime Candidate program only failed because of Darling. You are both failures, plotting against me. You are traitors, but the truth will emerge out of you. You are choosing to become my enemy, Kirkland. You don't want to be. From Zakaria Trench, Director of the Federal Bureau of Control. Yeah, Trench was definitely getting off his rocker a bit towards the end there. If he wasn't already way off of it in the first place. And more documentation. Official findings report on Dr. Rhea Underhill. Dr. Rhea Underhill is a professor at the University of Woodrow in the United Kingdom. And my microphone cable keeps slipping further down my... There's so many wires I have to monitor for all this stuff. His speak started slipping into his speech. Where she teaches biology with a focus on botany. Dr. Underhill once worked with the Bureau as a parabotanist stationed in the research sector of the oldest house. She served with no incidents or demerits and is praised by those who formerly worked with her, including Dr. Darling. Dr. Underhill has no known connections to paracriminal organizations or any record of breaching her NDA since leaving the Bureau. Her civilian behavior has been ideal, with the exception of an ongoing personal relationship with Dr. Darling that appears to have begun during their time as co-workers in the research sector and revisited intermittently ever since. Depending on the duration of her work in the oldest house, it may be required to have both parties sign a relationship clearance form. This investigation found no compelling reason to deny Dr. Darling's request to offer Dr. Underhill an interim position with the aim of finding a solution to the mold threshold issue. I actually kind of want to look at that one from Dr. Trench again. Where is it? Should be an investigation, right? Wait, there it is. No, there's a portrait of him. It wasn't a report. Okay, it wasn't his research or a report. So it should be one of these, right? God, that's gonna be a mess to look. Correspondence. I think that's what it'll be. There it is. You are a worm. You are traitors, but the truth will emerge out of you. Definitely some of the curious speech they're going on about. You are a worm through time. I've actually run out of water, so let me go get myself another drink real quick. Take 5, everyone. Although it is technically getting close to our usual ending time, I'm having a lot of fun here. Astonishing, it's already been almost 2 hours. And so we resume. I say take 5 every time, but it's substantially less than 5 most of the time. I do announce it. It's usually more like 3, sometimes 2, or even 1. Resignation letter, huh? To whom it may concern, it is with great anger and regret that I tender my resignation as head of investigations for the Federal Bureau of Control. I do this in protest of the rampant disregard for my department's blah 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 blah. My staff cannot continue to work in these conditions. Previous requests and warnings have fallen on deaf ears, so now I must rely on my actions to speak louder than my words ever could. I blame the situation on our who has routinely ignored my requests for assistance in reclaiming the parts of the investigation sector lost to the loose inside. I will never forget the screams of brave agents begging for us to open that firebreak. I will carry that shame for the rest of my days. The has failed as agents. I shall never forgive him for that. Sincerely, William Kirkland. Error, telling you to care about yourself. Don't worry about you. Being here at least makes you happy. It's because of you your speaking is starting to get much better. Made you believe in your work. Thank you for all. I will reciprocate the same to you, Error. As I've said, having the recognition from so small and so wholesome of a fan base has done a lot for me. So thank you. Green. I don't know if you all can see this, but I don't know if I'm really here. I see a pen in me hand. I see myself, but it's all wrong. It's the wrong angle, it's the wrong me, and it's all green. Look out for the color green. Everything turns green when it's close. Don't let it get close. Don't let it in. But if you, no matter what, do not stick to it. Please. I need you safe, Peggy. I don't want you to end up here, too. Don't know where I've gone. More garbage. Right, that was the one we just read. Open up.
It's not working.
Of course, yet another power puzzle.
Probably a loose power core somewhere.
Loose? That thing looks installed perfectly. Wonder if there's somewhere else where this belongs. There's the ominous green lighting coming from all the other offices, right? Let me through. We are not running out of correspondence, are we? Mr. Kirkland, we stopped at Keystone on our way to the target AWE, like you asked. I'm sending my report directly to you, to try and keep a lid on this Groom and Morales desertion issue. We didn't find any sign of them here. Given their records, it is possible they've switched teams, like you suspected, but I don't think that's the case. An event definitely occurred here in Keystone, and I think Grumman and Morales got caught up in it. The entire population has vanished into thin air. Reminds me of the ordinary case, but that was just the adults, if I'm remembering the file correctly. This is different. I think our guys are casualties, not traitors. If it was an AWE, it seems to be over. We walked through the whole town, and the only strange thing we noticed were markings on various buildings. 2 overlapping circles, with a dot in the shared space. Could be unrelated. I'll show you the pictures when I get back. In the meantime, you should send a team out here to cordon. Oh, that's a new word. To cordon this place off and maybe get the comms guys working on a cover story. Sincerely, Agent Keenum. See you soon, Error. I hope you sleep well without nightmares. And I will continue being a big shot. Per authorization from Mr. Kirkland, internal investigation P-1429 was launched into the legality of the Prime Candidate Program by the Federal Bureau of Control. Since all known subjects relevant to the investigation used executive privilege to decline interviews, very little first-hand information was gathered. However, Anonymous sources and documentation declassified by Mr. Kirkland both paint an alarmingly clear picture of systematic blah 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 and blah 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 blah. Were brought into the oldest house and placed under examination and testing with the aim of appointing one as director upon maturity. The program has produced no successful cases and only resulted in the traumatic of paranaturally inclined. Not only is this a breach of the Ash Act, but it flies in the face of basic human. Don't know why you need to censor that one out. This investigation team unequivocally the prime candidate program and recommends that it be immediately. Refer to the file for the full report. Maybe that's the place that we're interested in putting that power core. After all, this one doesn't appear to be doing anything useful down here.
Now that gate should open.
A bright, very visible blue here, I see. Get this off me. Some of us have dog allergies. They really make it feel like a real office. So soulless.
I'm no detective, but something definitely happened here.
Are we making another trip back to the motel? But first, I have a couple of things to read. The Blessed Organization. This group/individual has operated outside of Bureau's notice for decades, perhaps longer, displaying... Of course I'm not going to forget you. Go to bed already. I'm sorry if that sounds snarky, just... I've done the same thing, where I've hopped into someone's stream and stayed way past my bedtime. Usually I'd regret it the next day, even though I was enjoying it in the moment. A review of past cases has found various members mention... A review of past cases has found various mentions of their activity over the years. In 2016, a production company called Blessed Pictures was connected to an altered item case, as well as the death of an agent from exposure to illicit paranatural materials. In 1994, almost 1997, a Los Angeles-based public speaker named Chester Bless was involved in the illegal use of an altered item. In 1988, a business called Blessed Repair and Service was suspected of involvement with an object of power case, perhaps even creating it. None of these businesses or individuals have ever been located. However, their connection to appearances of altered items and objects of power is too direct to be considered circumstantial. An arrest order has been issued for any persons believed to be involved with the Blessed Organization. Well, another trip to the motel, huh? And 3.
Do we know each other? This feels familiar. I can't seem to... I've forgotten it. I'm sorry. My name is Alan Wake.
The big man himself.
Who are you? Who are you? Do I know you?
I'm your friend Tom. Tom Zane. There's nothing to worry about.
Tom. The poet. The Diver, you look different.
That was just a role, a character. The protagonist I played in my old film. I'm a filmmaker, an auteur like yourself. We're working on this together, remember? An artistic collaboration. You need a drink.
Oh.
Gippus.
Peepees?
Endless darkness. Nothing holds still.
But we're very close now. You've been writing. You found a way to escape. It'll work this time.
Riding?
You found a way!
No. I don't... Wait. There's something. It's my double. He's out there. I've seen
Yeah.
him.
Nothing to worry about. I'm dealing with it. It's fine, my friend. Let me handle him.
You've met him? What the hell?
Now, come on. You misunderstand me.
When reality tries to run Noida too. Sure what it feels like. I'm ready for the ceiling to collapse into pixels at any moment.
That was the Alan Wake? The famous writer? He disappeared years ago. It was all over the news back then. And Thomas Zane was with him. The poet. No, wait. He was a filmmaker. I always remember that wrong.
Wonder if that's an actual Alan Wake joke there that we don't yet know. Probably. We'll eventually be on that inside joke after we play the game. I'm not exactly in a position to figure that out, am I? Not much of a puzzle, is it? Lights out in every which way.
Dr. Emil Hartman, devoured by Dr. Emil Hartman was desperate. The Federal Bureau of Control had stolen his life's work. This was his last chance, his final experiment. What he'd been too scared to do before. Hartman dove into the lake, was taken, devoured by hungry darkness, became the thing that had been Hartman. Only an echo of him remained, fragmented impulses on autoplay, violent, bloodthirsty darkness in the driver's seat. Emerging from the lake, the thing was captured by the FBC. Brought in, contained, studied. The thing broke loose, killed everyone it could. The FBC fell back and sealed the sector. The thing was alone in the dark, lurking, roaming, waiting. Then something else came. Not darkness, but similar enough. A sound. A resonance. It shouldn't be a surprise. If there's one, why not another? The darkness inside the thing could have been immune, could have resisted, fought, could have been passed by, passed through with no effect. But it didn't, and it wasn't. Maybe it had grown weaker over time, not aged. It was timeless, but weaker with no link to its source. A metamorphosis followed. The thing that had been Hartman went through another change.
Well then.
Darkness became the thing that had been Hartman. then something else came. A resonance. The thing that had been Hartman went through another change.
Earlier in the game, there was a recording of Jesse talking to a psychologist named Tom, about Thomas Zane. I remember that talk. Didn't remember, Thomas Zane. Jesse said they were poet, and the psychologist didn't believe her. Wonder if that's the last time we'll be in the motel. Hello there, Freakazoid. Well, as always, find our way to the other side. I'm guessing we're not getting through here, are we? Oh, isn't that cute? They have the little, maps for whenever you break into it. It's a flat texture, but with the proper use of maps and cube maps, you can make it look 3D to an onlooker. It'll actually respond to light. Well, of course we have to get our way across there. Glad you're not stuck on the other side of that, with the screaming that never terminated. Unfortunately, we have to bypass Mr. Jiggling Polygons over here. Yeah, no. Going to guess that door is equivalently busted.
Creepy, damp, and abandoned. Why did Wake want me to come here?
Almost looks exactly the same as the way in, with that office being there immediately next to the fire break.
That doesn't look like a house shift. Do I even want to know?
Okay. Again, also kind of looks like a fractal rendering. I'm sure you've seen this for animations on YouTube where they'll have a Mandelbox generator, and everything will be shifting around, sort of like the oldest house here. A shaded facet. I'm guessing we're using that for all of our better in-game equipment here. Yeah, hello to you too. Oh, that was it. Yeah, definitely using launch more since we upgraded it. Look at how much damage it does. And thank you.
Of course, the hiss are already in here.
And there's the building shifts.
Looks like the house has gotten a little wild in here.
I'm guessing we can't go any farther in that direction. Huh. Cute. Enemies here certainly aren't as buff as Marshall. Marshall was a fight. Although it wasn't necessarily as difficult as some of the other ones we've been across, that was mostly because we were over-prepared this time.
This darkness is blocking the door. So now I have to deal with an interdimensional noise and sentient shadows.
Well, it doesn't care about bullets, that's for one. Hello? Anything in here? Aim a powerful light source at the darkness to destroy it.
Light burns it away, huh? Makes sense.
Do we have yet another alternative to the hiss then? And the fungal growths return. Still never got through the end of this, did we? And it's still manifested in way too many of these rooms. Does it still hurt us? No. That's right, we did ingest that medicine, which should make us immune, right? Oh, gross. Extra gross. No. And it's everywhere. Absolutely disgusting. Ugh. Well, at least we don't have to deal with those mushroom rooms too much more. Back into the sewers. You know, the darkness did sort of look like whatever that thing was that Ati was dealing with. This control point is now property of Xander. Or Jesse, essentially. Close enough. Firebreak Operations Center and active investigations. So this is the way we need to go.
The third thing. The sound made darker, the darkness made louder. Hartman was stretched, like a worm through time. The third thing was a monster. Now we crashed out of darkness toward Phaeton.
So you say. So we have the hiss, the former, the board, Polaris, and now we have some sort of bizarre darkness. Ah, Ati! I missed you.
Lighten them up. Hey, it's getting bad. The vents, they are full of mold shit. It's not good for you. Headache, nausea, mold, depression. How can you tell when you are in?
We have hiss, mold, shadows, and natural nonsense in multiple flavors.
New day, same old bloody shit, said the old way. Like tar but good for nothing. Get rid of it.
Oh yeah, and the toilets are clogged. With weird pulsating black shit with yellow pimples everywhere. Ah, there we go. I was looking for one of these. And we plug it in somewhere. I saw it around here. No, it was after we got in. Where was the plug for that? I know we saw it. Ah, there it is. And now that that's open, we know blue is a much better color than green. So that's obviously what we should be using it for. Eagle Limited Summary. A train derailment, resulting in 62 casualties and numerous injuries, was suspected to have been the work of a paracriminal group known as blah 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 blah. As a result of this event, the agents discovered that one of the cars had become altered with a persistent auditory event. It remains to be determined whether the AWE was spontaneous or the direct result of sabotage. And don't touch the light switches, ignore the clocks, stay away from the non-existent windows, and do not watch that TV. Is there another one around here? I'm about to torture James, aren't I? It remains to be determined whether the AWE was spontaneous or the direct result of the sabotage. The Bureau had been tracking said group at the time, and the intel gathered suggested an event of this caliber was imminent in Bloomington. As a result, the response team on site was able to respond to the train accident site within minutes of its occurrence. They arrived to find emergency processes underway, but also equipment left behind by the suspected group. A suspicious onlooker managed to elude agents after they attempted to make contact. Further investigation of the accident site revealed a curiously undamaged train car that exhibited an altered state when entered. This individual car was secured and transported to the investigation sector for further studies. Oh, hello there. Not happy to see you.
My understanding of the darkness is fragmented, incomplete. This abyss, this void, it very much does not wish to be understood. If light symbolizes knowledge, then it stands to reason that darkness would equate to ignorance. By its very nature, it abhors comprehension. Of course, my own nature drives me to comprehend all. We are opposing forces, destined to collide. And given this conflict of natures, we know that the light of truth will burn away the darkness, both figuratively and literally. Any significant light source can be used as protection, even weaponry against this metaphysical gloom. And then there are the artists. I know for a fact that Tom, Wake, the Anderson brothers, and Lane all had some involvement with the darkness. The question is whether their uncanny ability to affect reality through their art beckons the darkness, or did they perhaps even create it? With Wake now secure in my lodge, I expect I shall grow closer to learning the answers to these questions. Assuming he cooperates, which is proving quite the challenge. Well, perseverance is the foundation of knowledge. Speaking of, I must be off on
A little silly attempting to fight through there. Ah, I was going to save that for later, but that might have an answer for us. Paranatural entity A010, aka the Shadow, is an aggressive blah 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 consisting of 3 known types. Type A, localized manifestations of sentient blah blah blah, capable of occupying organic and inorganic material, as well as exerting blah 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 over its surroundings. B, shaded individuals, human bodies blah 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 by the shadow. These individuals become notably more aggressive, but they do seem to retain blah blah of their previous selves. Research is ongoing as to whether this condition is reversible. Type C, shaded objects. Similar to Type B, except that inanimate objects are blah 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 solely to be used as destructive tools. Each type seems to work towards a shared goal, possibly targeting certain individuals, AWE-35, which may imply a shared link to a blah blah blah, presumably a hive mind, intelligence. The threat this entity poses warrants immediate exploration of offensive and defensive measures. The investigation sector is being outfitted with additional lighting sources, some internally powered, to prepare for the eventuality of an... Yeah, I hear ya. Alright, let's tango. You know what? Let's you and him fight. There, now this fight is a lot more fair. You know, I'll just sit back. Enjoy the show. And maybe participate. Get you two. And you. And line up a shot. It's just a very easy way to even out the odds. You know what? I'll do it twice. That better be the end of you. Oh, it was Ati's music, that's right. I was hearing something ominous playing in the background.
I don't feel right. Something in this darkness is draining me.
Ah, one of these puzzles, huh? Gotta stay out of all the dark areas. So we have yet another lighting puzzle that I've seen in a couple of different games, mostly having to keep yours. Uh-oh.
Shit. Now what? What is that?
Come on, elevator, time to go.
Oh, that thing's huge. Activate the lights to defeat the creature. Of course. Where am I plugging this in? And let's solve that very, very quickly. Ah, good. We'll need a supply of several of these. Oh dear. Don't get a very good look at him either, given that he's shrouded in darkness. Or perhaps he's part of it. Come on, where's our next plug? So it only manifests when we are in the shadows.
Nothing even touches it.
Got something going on in here? Perhaps? Oh, isn't that funny? Okay, I'd play that game. I'd absolutely play whatever the heck is going on here. And here. I'm interested. Tell me more. Alright, where's our next plug? Should be one more, right? And whatever he is, he cannot stand in the light. So, we'll be safe in the various corners of the room up until then. And he's laughing at us. Laughing at our futility. Just chuck a few of these around the room. No. Yeah, Shun. Tell me what's going on there. There's one in that corner. Or no, that was just an actual battery. And no way to schmoop out of there. Not while we're in the darkness. Well, that was freaky. Where exactly are the next spots? Shum and Shum 2. Just tell me where I'm plugging these things in, please. I don't want to deal with Mr. Creepy guy in the darkness. Ah, there we go. It was up top. No wonder I didn't notice it earlier. And then maybe this. It's a mini game you can play once you turn the lights on. Hold on. Really?
Hidden shades. Shim. Shim. Whatever.
Oh, you know I had to do this. Interact with a oh wait, no, that was the loading screen. Ah, they're just little mini games in here. I'm a bit less interested in the little shooting gallery here, but fine. I'll bite. A little zombie defense game of sorts. That's our little arcade mode. Darn, I must admit I am a little disappointed. I was hoping we'd actually have some silly little pixel arcade game going on here. We should be able to pick up multiple objects, right? I forget what our button combination was for the multi-throw. If only they had the you know what, I would have definitely had a lot more enjoyment if they kept the pixel shader on here. That was cool. Albeit for only a moment. I would have wanted more. Big shot. And dodge a bit too late. There. Problem solved. Is that it? Is that the last guy for now? I guess so. Okay, I'm having fun, but I don't want to be here for the entire thing. Ah, there we go. What a shame. What a shame, this shum. Pixels plus the stylized palette, possibly an entirely different playstyle, and boom, shum is perfected. Quite the loading screen for us to get back now, isn't it? And... boom. That was certainly cute for the time being. You know, I've never actually owned an arcade stick, so when the Mixbox comes in, I'm gonna have so much fun playing around with it. What a shame. Indeed.
Ma'am, what are you doing in investigations?
Jesus, don't scare me like that, Langston.
If you're talking right now, I can't hear you. It's a one-way system. Try to find an intercom.
Langston, it's me, Jesse.
I know. I can see you on the monitors. The cameras in there haven't worked since we sealed that sector off a couple years back.
Let me guess. You sealed it because of the monster guy.
Wait, did you see Dr. Hartman? Jesus, I really wish you hadn't opened that fire break. Okay, listen, you need to find Hartman and kill him before he gets out into the Bureau.
That thing is a person?
He was a person. We brought him here to study after he was, altered in an AWE. I forget the medical word for what happened, but now light physically hurts him. Do you have a flashlight?
No.
A lantern? Headlamp? Oh, yeah, flare gun. Oh, Christmas lights. You could wrap them around your...
I don't have any of those, Langston.
Shit. Okay, well, I'm sure you'll think of something. I'll keep an eye on you from the Panopticon. This is kind of exciting, right?
Maybe from where you're standing.
Right, okay. Well, break a leg. Oh, why did I say that?
Okay, this Hartman thing can't have gotten very far. Let's go flush him out.
So Langston's involved in this one.
Langston's right.
This will be fun.
This is kind of exciting.
It's just nice to have someone to talk to, you know? Ever since I got put in charge of the Panopticon, people treat me different, like I'm crazy for wanting to work with altered items. People just don't understand the altered items like I do, you know? I don't want to brag, but it does.
Okay, it's only playing from there.
Mind to connect with the items.
Doesn't
Still,
want to
I don't know why
brag.
people are making it so personal.
Right.
I mean, the teams in research handle paranatural materials every day, and no one thinks they're weird. Well, maybe that's not true. Darling is famous for being a bit out there, but when he's weird, it's charming. Altered items really aren't that frightening once you get to know them. If you figure out what they like or don't like, you know, what sets them off, then there's nothing to worry about. I guess at the end of the day, we're still just wild animals, scared.
Is he gonna go on the same as Trench did?
We're supposed to be on the same team, but sometimes it feels like it's every department for themselves, like it's a race, and we're all trying to be number one. If it is a race, though, I'd say Darling is a mile ahead of everyone else. He was Trench's golden boy for years, but that relationship has gotten pretty tense, or so I've heard through the grapevine. Not that I spread rumors, just, you know, people talk. Not me, though. I keep my nose to the grind. Too much work to do to focus on those kinds of things. I need to stay focused so I can get my work done and get home to feed Alfred.
He's
Of course,
just gonna talk forever.
can't always
isn't
make
he?
it home for mealtime, so I have my
Definitely
neighbor
he
check in on
can.
Alfred at 7 o'clock if I'm not back yet. She's very nice. Her name is Maria. She's older. She came to New York in the 50s to attend school and has been here ever since. She has a couple of kids. I met them at Thanksgiving. Big family. Very nice people. Anyway, she has a key to my apartment and she gives Alfred his dinner if I'm not home. I'm gonna have to buy her a nice fruit arrangement as a thank you after this. I'm missing a lot of Alfred's meal times. She's probably gonna have to go to the store for more wet food. I'll have to remember to pay her back. Hold on, let me make a note. Pay back Maria for Alfred's food. Okay. Oh, one more thing. And buy her
Look, Langston, darling dances.
a
Do you dance, Langston? Oh, you do? We haven't seen it, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, I'd like to see the Langston music video.
Are you a cat person? I don't think I ever asked. You seem like one, though. You'd like Alfred. He's very proper. Really carries himself well, you know? I named him after my favorite poet. Felt like a good fit. I got Alfred just before Sylvia died when I was at the...
Ah, yes, my cat's in the room, too.
Where I got Alfred from.
He is a very proper lad, just as well.
Did not get along. Oh, no. Sylvia thought she owned the place. Didn't like me getting in her way, scratched me more than once when I was just trying to move her food bowl. That cat was a real asshole.
Wow.
I'm realizing now that language was not
harsh.
entirely, professional. You see, Sylvia didn't tolerate most people, or animals, or anything. And that's what I meant when I said asshole. I would never use that word about a person. It was just, hey, there's a light flashing on the console here. I gotta, check this out. I'll get back to you later.
Real smooth, Langston.
Really smooth. Proper biting the cable. He actually doesn't do that so often anymore. Maybe because I do have wireless headphones for one. He also usually just wants to lay around in my room. He's not doing too much of the intrusive sit on my desk. I know we have that sort of meme about how cats will interrupt you while you're trying to do some work and they'll sit on your desk, but he actually doesn't do that very much. I think he enjoys the bit of comforting company, so he usually lays on my bed, right behind me. There he is, curled up like a little lump. Adorable, precious boy. You know, before we start getting into content that's too suspenseful, I'd say that's actually a good stopping point for us. Don't want to finish 2 DLCs in the span of a single stream. I think it's good to leave them spaced out to where we have roughly, I don't know, 2 hours for each one. So, next couple of weeks we'll feature Control streams and then we'll finally be done, which, wow, we've kept this game up going for, how long has it been? 2 months? 3 months even? Your cats like sleeping next to you, but not next to each other, which is where the problem is. Right now, I only have 1 cat, but the little guy that I have with me right now, precious boy as he is, he definitely got himself into trouble a couple of times with, the previous apartment where he was having to deal with another roommate. Ah, it's only been, 6 weeks or so? Well then, I'm impressed. Really doesn't feel like it's been that long since we started Control. Or heck, a lot of the other games here. Rain World was first 3 weeks ago and then 2 weeks ago. Funny how time flies. It's nostalgic looking back at the streaming history here. Yeah, I'll be picking up some more stuff, and homework is catching Stupendium's song about Control. It is still here in my search history, and so I will be doing that immediately. I'll be very glad to get to that. So, it's probably going to be a light week, and it might even be light for the remainder of the month, given that next week is a lot of holidays simultaneously. In that case, I am probably gonna do a lot of stuff lightly, and we expect some of the big stuff to be happening once we get to the new year. At that point, I'm guessing our schedule frees up to where we'll start Inscription with the new year, and I'll look for a couple of other games that would be more in my style. I noticed that we've mostly been burning through some other auxiliary games with Deltarune and Control here, we finished Halo CE, so I think it might actually be good to go back to a little bit more regular streaming for Guilty Gear. I missed that game, and I should definitely get in a lot more playtime off stream and on stream, which will definitely be picking up once I have my controller, which should be tomorrow. So, hope to see you all then. Tomorrow is going to be a Halo stream, even though I'm going to have my Mixbox at that time. I might do another Gorilla stream later after that. And then on Thursday, we have BlazBlue, which will be another tournament that I'm probably going 1 to 2 in again, but I'll get in my lab time, especially with the new controller. I will immediately, while Stupendium is playing in the background, upload that schedule to Twitter and to the Discord server. Thank you all for watching. Class is dismissed. Thank you, James, Ajoy, both of you for your attendance, and our other classmates who have had to go to bed and handle other tasks.